Maximum Charge.
What is up, guys? It's Alex from Maximum Charge. Welcome back to the channel, and if you are new here, welcome. Today we have an epic looking electric motorcycle that I saw on Instagram, and I just had to get in touch with Dylan Brown, the CEO, and talk to you guys a little bit more about this electric motorcycle that's coming out, because I don't think there's anything else out there on the market like this. Let's jump right in. Let me show you guys what this bike is all about. So here it is, guys. This is called the terrabike. This is what Dylan told me, a scrambler style electric motorcycle. And what that means is essentially there's a lot of suspension travel versus a cafe racer, and a more upright riding position, also different from a cafe racer, which is more kind of like crouched down. So this is kind of geared towards the dual sport market, where you can go on-road, off-road, and boy, does Dylan do some off-roading on this thing. He told me that when he tests this bike out, he does a 1,000-foot climb, and then an additional 500-foot climb, and then continues to off-road until he does about a 28-mile loop, and the bike comes back with plenty of battery life remaining, and that's because this bike can come with a huge battery. Let's take a look at the specs of this bike. So first thing I want to point out is the look. I like the stretched out look, the long swing arm. Top speed, 65 miles an hour top speed, but the bike does have different modes. You can do more like an e-bike mode, which goes up to like 28 miles an hour. And then there's some modes in between the highest mode, which is that 65 mile an hour top speed. Although I wouldn't be surprised if this bike went faster than 65. So this bike runs on a 72 volt system, peak power output of 16 kilowatts. And if you notice, we have a mid-drive motor back here. This motor is made by Shinwin. It's an 8 kilowatt nominal motor. The range of this bike right now is advertised to be 70 plus miles with a 65 amp hour pack. Although Dylan did tell me they're going to be releasing a 5.5 kilowatt hour battery pack. That is massive. Just to give you guys some quick math, we'll do 5,500. So that's the 5.5 kilowatt hours divided by 72. That's going to be a 76 amp hour battery. That is a huge battery. That's one of the biggest batteries on the market right now. Oh, and this bike is going to use 21700 Samsung cells with a 5C output. And what that pretty much means is how fast each cell can discharge, and 5C is pretty good. So you guys are going to get plenty of power feeding that motor. Dylan did tell me that the battery is removable. There are a few bolts on the side panel that you have to unscrew to remove the battery out. It's not easily removable. It's not really designed to be constantly removable, but if you do need to take it out, it's possible. Looks like right here it says it's going to come with DOT approved lights, off-road suspension, and a comfortable seat, which I am a huge fan of. When I'm out on a long bike ride, I usually tap out at around 2 hours, and it would be nice if a seat gave you the extra comfort to go an extra hour or so, if that's what you wanted, especially if you have that range available. Charge time of 4 hours, and that is with a 40 amp hour battery pack. One of the things I like about this bike is that the standover height is only 32 inches. That's going to make for a very comfortable riding experience. You'll easily be able to reach the ground with your feet. And with those taller handlebars, you're going to have, again, that upright riding position. A couple more tech specs over here. Frames are built out of 1-inch 4130 chromoly tubing. And the battery box is advertised to be watertight. That is always good. 420 chain to our 60-tooth rear cog. Of course, you can always probably change that in the future to get a little bit more top speed, less torque, if that's something you want. And something I did notice about these bikes is that the chain goes straight from the motor to the rear cog. There's no primary chain first, then the secondary chain to the rear wheel. It is just one chain, and that's going to make for a simpler, less complicated system. And it looks like the website does say that the direct chain drive is going to keep things on the smoother side. Lots of suspension travel, so you got that 8 inches of travel in the front and 6.5 inches of travel in the rear. So tons of suspension travel, perfect for off-roading. They are also going to be making a rear rack system for this bike, which is going to act like a fender. It's an 8-inch rack where you're going to be able to put up to 200 pounds on the rack. Looks like there's a spot to go over all the tech specs over here. Look at that. So I'm not going to read over all of this. You guys can check this out yourselves. The website is terrabikes.com. So this bike has a longer wheelbase, 58-inch wheelbase, 11 inches of ground clearance. Looks like the controller is rated for a 200 amp peak and a peak phase current of 550 amps. Plenty of power. And Dylan is in Colorado where these bikes are designed. And that's always nice. It's not some international company that you won't be able to get a hold of after you purchase the bike. They are right here in the United States. They are going to be starting an Indiegogo campaign end of February. And right here it says the expected delivery day is May, but Dylan did tell me that realistically it's going to be closer to June. So if you guys put $20 down for the Indiegogo campaign, you can, looks like you can get $2,700, almost $2,800 off the MSRP. And I believe that is for the largest battery pack model. I could be wrong. I'll correct myself in the description below if I am wrong. And during the purchasing process, Dylan did say that just like at a dealership, they're going to make it very easy for you to get this bike registered and legal for road riding. And financing is going to be available. So guys, stay tuned for more info from this bike. I'm going to stay in contact with Dylan. Let me know if you have any more questions for him. Visit him on Instagram. Terrabikes.com is the website as well. I'm going to leave all those links in the description below. I'm pretty excited for when this bike comes out. It looks amazing and it looks like it performs amazing as well. I get the feeling I'm going to be making more videos on this bike in the future. I'm not affiliated with Terrabikes in any way. I just talked to Dylan just to get a little bit more information to you guys about this upcoming bike. Keep an eye out for this bike. I think Terrabikes is coming out with something pretty special. That's it for today, folks. Until next time.